Hey guys, today's project is replacing the LED landscaping lights for my backyard. I bought from Home Depot, I think it was the Malibu brand, and they've been failing left and right. It's time to just replace them all. I didn't buy any extras, and they did last probably 6 or 8 years. So I know LEDs, they'll say, oh, you get like, a billion hours, but they never last that long. Either they burn out, the or they start flickering. They never get, in my opinion, very, very rarely where you get the rated life of an LED light. But so here's what I got. I'll show you. I bought these on Amazon. I can leave the links below. Lenolight. I really wanted the spotlights, and I don't know what are they called, path lights or Bally lights. I forget exactly. Path and area lights. Didn't want anything too bright. I've seen mixed reviews on these on Amazon's, and they might even be too bright. If they are, I might have to get a dimmer switch. We'll see. I'm gonna test them out tonight. And I needed, for the backyard, I needed 6 of these pathway lights and I believe four of these spotlights. These are usually the broad areas or the up lights on the taller bushes. I also picked up these deck lights. Now, when I built this outdoor kitchen, I put lights in the bar. They didn't make anything like this back in the day. So I bought these waterproof, I think it's like a tackle, not a tackle, but like a minnow box for like a boat. And they're waterproof lights. Their temperature is not even close to being matching. They're more blue. These are 3000K. These are similar to 3000K, so I'm hoping that it'll all kind of tie in together. But just like these, I might have to put a dimmer switch on this, but we'll have to see. I'll have to test it out, and I'll show you guys the process. I also bought a bit. These here are about 1 inch. They're a little smaller on Amazon. I'll put the link below. I think it was like 12 bucks. I'll let you know the price. It's a 1 inch concrete bit because this is stucco. So you need a concrete bit to go through the stucco. And there's already holes. They're just a little smaller. I already put a couple. I'll show you guys what I got. I already changed out a couple and I forgot to do the video. So I grabbed my camera and pulled this stuff out to show you guys what I'm doing. Here are the old ones. This is the spotlight. That one actually still works. I think there's 2 out of like 4 or 5 that work. That one works. And here are the pathway lights that all but 2 have died. Here's the new lights. This one's installed. I turned them on, but it's too bright out to know if they're gonna be too bright or not. And I'll show you guys how I'm gonna do it. As far as power, I have the typical burial light wire that you buy at any home improvement or Amazon, but my power supply is a little unconventional. I'll show you guys. I got this on a tripod, so right here. So this box right here, again, before Amazon got littered with a ton of reasonable LED power supplies for landscaping lighting, this was kind of the best of the bunch. I think I bought it on eBay, but it's really held up for years. It's got 3 inputs, or 1 input and 3 outputs. You can tell it come from like another country because on the AC side coming in, they didn't even have protective. It's just a screw where you could touch it and electrocute yourself. I wouldn't recommend that or this if you were buying it today. There's a ton of good options. I can leave a couple that if I was buying it today, that I would go instead of that, but it works, so I'm not gonna switch that out. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off. I'll save these clips. Basically wasted about 15-20 minutes of my life right there putting all those on that I'm not gonna use except for a couple. I'm gonna go ahead and save those. I'm just gonna go ahead and clip, pull this wire out, and the same thing here. I'm gonna look at my clip, make sure it's the newer clip. These are like these, I don't know, they're almost like I had to crimp them down. They're like little lances, and they're stainless steel screws with silicone. So those have been holding up. I got those all in the front yard. I'm gonna just leave those, but I am gonna go ahead and cut this. This is a broken one. Now, the other spotlights that are working, I'm gonna cut the wire further up so I can reuse them, but this one's toast. And it actually powers on, it's just very, very dim, which makes no sense. I know that a lot of them have a circuit board, but that one kind of, never really seen that. I did have one other one that was kind of doing that. Often you either don't work or they flicker. And this is one of the best tools I've ever bought. This one's made by Klein Tools, and it's a wire stripper. And if you guys do any projects around the house, electrical, low voltage, high voltage, this thing was worth its weight in gold. Instead of trying to mess with stripping out wires, and super fast, very accurate. I can see if they still make it. Maybe I'll put a link for something like it if they don't, but I picked it up at Home Depot years ago, years and years ago. And I'm just going by 12. And there's numbers on here. One of them is like solid copper, one is stranded. None of these are 100% accurate because I never know exactly, I kind of guess. And if you go a little lighter or heavier, you kind of make adjustments as they go. Simple as putting these together, giving them a twist. These are super easy to change, guys. And they're filled with silicone, and you just kind of give them a twist until they bite. Now they don't bite all the time. See that silicone? I'm going to pull it out and kind of reposition it and just kind of give it another twist. And that's working. I can feel it. I can feel it. See how it's twisting? It's biting. I don't know why they're biting. They're not biting on the first time, but when fail, try again. I'm leaving some extra wire in case I'm going to put some plants here, and I'll just bury it. I do that. It gives me a little flexibility. This one's biting for shot. And I'm just going to put it in the same spot if I can remember where that spot was, right here. That's it. I'm going to push this back down, and I'm going to put some new mulch to kind of hide all this stuff here. I got more mulch. I'm going to bury all this wire. That's how fast and easy it was. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I did buy a couple extras. Put it in my cabinet, so if one fails and they don't make them anymore, that's one of the bad things with those lights that I bought. You can't buy them, and if you don't have any extras to replace one or two and you want them to match, you're buying a whole set. So this time I made sure I bought a couple extra of each kind, and I'm just gonna put them up, and hopefully they don't die, but if they do, I'll be able to keep them going for a little longer. So here are my tools, guys, I have. And some of these aren't needed if you guys have clips already, but if you're using these clips, you're gonna want these. Small little screwdriver, regular head screwdriver, an X-Acto box knife, some pliers, and a wire stripper. And these are nice. Either scissors will work, these are tin snips. And I'm gonna go ahead and pull this one up, and I'm gonna see what kind of clips I have. Oh, I got the bad clip, so this is great. I can show you guys. I'm gonna actually remove this old clip, and you guys can see me. See this clip here? I'm gonna get my safety glasses, because when I pop that clip off the old one, it hit me in the face, and I don't want anything going in my eyeballs, so I'm gonna save this because it still works okay. I'm gonna take my little screwdriver and just work it in through these clips, and they're all full of dirt, so it's kind of hard to see. I'm not reusing them, so trick is just you're kind of separating the clip without putting the screwdriver through your hand is the goal here. And I'm gonna use my pliers to kind of, well, that broke it. Because if these are on for quite a long time, they're not the easiest to get off, and they're clips, so you gotta kind of get something in there and loosen the clip and pry it. So guys, my iPhone died due to overheating. So see this wire, this is a common wire. You got two wires. It doesn't matter positive, negative for these lights because it's DC power. And what you want is to take a knife, cut away from you, just pierce it in the middle, just to pierce it. Then you're going to take a small screwdriver, wedge it in between the two, and just kind of pull the screwdriver forward or backward to get your fingers in there to kind of, this wire's a bit old, so the sheeting is pretty hard. I'm gonna do a little bit more cutting. I don't want to cut much. Man, this stuff is pretty hard because it's old. So you guys can see that. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna hook up these new clips, this new light. So it's got like a clip that goes over the wire. Now I already put these on the wire here. I don't know if that's better. I kind of wanted to get everything prepped before I came out, but I think this will allow the wire to twist the other way if you did it afterwards, but this seems to still work okay. Doing just the opposite on this one. You guys can see it. And just gonna tighten this up. And when I do this, I want them to be lean. Guys, I can't seem to win today between this phone overheating and running out of storage. It keeps on stopping, and I think you've seen the last of me tightening this wire. I just stuck it, the light where I thought it needed to go. And again, I'm just kind of covering up the wires a little bit. And these ones, there you go, a little bit harder. I'm gonna have to wedge this. It will come out. I had this out, but it's tight in there. I can pull it out. The wiring, I didn't have a whole lot of forethought when I built this to replace them. I should have. And younger, a little bit more stupid, but I will be able to get to these, I believe, the wiring, and rewire them and pop in the new ones. I'm gonna work on that now, and I'll show you guys what I'm gonna do. So luckily the younger me did have some forethought and put some extra wire here so that changing these out should be pretty easy. So I'm not using the power supply. I'm gonna just hook them up to my power supply. So this is the power going on and power going into the light. This is feeding the other light. I'm just gonna leave this, probably put some electrical tape on it. And then I'm gonna cut the end. Just to make sure. And on this side, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this. I'll save that just in case it doesn't work. And then I will get some scissors here. So I'm planning on tying them all into my low voltage lighting. Got some small wire nuts, should do the trick. Yep. I'll go ahead and feed this up in here. Before I plug it in, I'm going to turn the power on just to check it out. I'm just going to go hit that power switch. And these are made for decks. It's got like a spring, so when I push it up in there, it'll hold it tight. At least that's the theory anyway. So that went pretty much as planned. I did the other 3, so there's 4 total underneath here, and I really like the warm light. And I'm gonna give you guys a snapshot of how overall it looks once it gets dark. It's starting to rain, so I just want to show you guys how this looked. It's not really dark, it's getting dusk. The spotlights I like, they seem a little warmer, a little less bright, and actually they're 4 watts compared to the 3 watts. These ones, a little more of a white light. They say they're a warm light, but they're more of like an in-between warm and daylight. I'd say it's more of like a 4,000 Kelvin. Not bad, it's a little bright. Me and my wife were just kind of talking about, are they too bright for us? I can't really hook up a dimmer because the dimmer is going to make these dim, and that's just about perfect. But here's how it looks. That's the old one. Again, we're taking that one out, doing something different in that corner. But I redid the mulch too. Got a little fire going. Now these, much warmer, and my patio lights on top there. Now those are not LED, those are incandescent, which are warmer, probably like 27, I think incandescent. I'd say they're more like 2700 Kelvin, and I really like how those match those bar lights. Just enough light, not too much. Give that glow from underneath, and it really matches the lights on top really well. Here's spotlights. You can see it's a decent warm light on the spotlights. And then you get to these 3 watters, and they're a bit bright. Still undecided if I'm going to return them or do something else. So it's unanimous. My wife and I both agree. The pathway lights, they're going back to Amazon. They're just too bright. Now they say they're 3000 K. They're not. They're more like 4000. And that's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue is they're just in your eyes, blinding. Even if I had a way to reduce it, it's annoying. You can see in the iPhone camera, it's just, there's no diffusion. We're gonna go with a different style. I'll show you guys what I end up getting, and I'm gonna swap them out before I post this video. So these were kind of a fail. So I went and picked these up from Amazon, same company, Leon Light, 3000 K, 3 watts, same everything, just a different style. And I went and switched out one. A very big difference. Not only isn't it shining because you can't see the bulb like this one, the light appears to be more of a warm light, and it's fairly accurate color temperature in the screen right now. It matches the other lights much better. So the other one, I'm sure it's the same bulb, it just is basically shining in your eye. I like the style of these ones better, but I'm gonna go ahead and swap out the path lights for those. These go together pretty easy, just a few different sections. The LED and the base, not the spike, and this is aluminum white, and then this is like a plastic lens. It's pretty thick plastic. Just screws down, and then you got the stake, and that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap these out and just switch over the wire nut or the other nut that I have, and you should be good. So some of these do have some imperfections. I don't know if it's like a, I don't know, deterioration or scratching. I don't know if you guys can see that. I will have to order a new box, but since I have a couple extras, I was able to finish. I had 2 that were bad. All right, guys, about 15 minutes later, and half dozen or so mosquito bites, especially by the bushes. I adjusted the exposure and the white balance to look like what I'm seeing camera to eye, and it's pretty cool. Now, there's a little bit of a light on this one here that I don't say it's annoying. I'm in a low spot in my yard right now, but I am pretty happy with this. It's more of a subtle light. It's not in your eyes. I'm going to show you guys. It matches the other lights better. And this is, again, those are incandescent on the top of the I don't know what you want to call that, my outdoor kitchen. And much more subtle. Nothing shining you in the eyes when you're sitting out on the porch. But it does light up the landscaping really nice, and a little bit beyond that as well. These are pretty happy with, and the other ones I liked. It's just the design. If they had the LED shooting from top down like the Malibu lights I had, they would have been a winner all day long. But instead they had and I didn't take it apart, but it appears that they had it shining out right where you can see the LED. So even through the frosted diffuser, it was eye blinding. I do like the design of those better, but the ultimate end result, these much better. The color temperature is more accurate at about 3000 K, and they're nice and subtle, not too dull, not too bright. They match the spotlights very well, and I might put another spotlight in over here once we do the landscaping. Pretty happy, guys. I hope that helps anybody out there. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments. I'll be happy to answer. Again, everything I'll leave in the links as well. Thanks again for watching. Take